Welcome back. It's Ryan from ewebjelly.com. And this section of the course is all about domain names or the URL. We all know what these are. We go to them every day. If we're on any popular website, we type it in, we search it, we save it, we bookmark it, and we go to it anytime we want to, right? So your domain name is the basically the address of your website where people type in and go to find your website. So ours is simply ewebjelly.com, as you see here. Now, you may think that a domain name is not that important. It's just words that people use to go find your website. And we have a different strategy for you. Your brand, your image, everything is centered around your website, but your domain name is really the opening doorway to your website. So if you are thinking about branding your business or naming your business, your domain name is going to be what people remember when they want to find you online. So we recommend something very short, very concise, very memorable, and something just catchy as you can be. Now, this can be very difficult. So you want to put some time and thought into it, or talk to some marketing people, talk to some people who are in the industry and ask them what they think. But the important thing to know about your domain is that it's going to be everywhere. So your domain is going to be on your business cards. It's going to be on any flyers or ads you're doing anywhere. You might put it on t-shirts or merchandise. It might be on the front of your window of your store. Any employees are going to be wearing your domain name potentially as hats and shirts and whatnot, right? So your domain name is literally going to be everywhere, and you want to make sure that people remember it. So the question is, well, how do I get a domain name? So you can buy a domain name from many different places online, but we want you to buy one from us, obviously. So by going to our website, ewebjelly.com, you can simply click on shop, the shop link at the top, and it will bring you to this page where you can simply type in your domain name, like ewebjelly, for example, and search it. Now, if a domain name is already taken, the site will tell you that it's taken like we have here, but you can see variations. If you want to check out different variations to purchase, you can do that as well. Now, depending on how you feel about it, we typically like to have people have a .com, but in some cases, you may want to have a .org or a .info or a .net. We don't recommend it. We recommend a .com right away. Now, the important thing to know about domain names is that people do buy them. People buy them without building websites. There's people that have domain names and lists of the thousands, and they go and they sell them, or they, auction them off and sell them to the highest bidder. If you have a really good domain name or your business name is really unique, even before you buy a website, I would recommend going and buying a domain name. You don't have to buy a domain name and right away have it built on a website. You can just have the domain name. So there's no real sense of urgency. You can just have the domain name. And if you want to build your website 6 months, a year later, you still own the domain name. So that's no problem. But we highly recommend, if you have a very good domain name or a unique business name, to go and buy the domain name right away before somebody else does. Because once somebody else buys it under you, it can become difficult. They're going to try to get you to pay them to own it. Or you have to maybe get into a legal dispute about who owns it and who's going to buy it. And it can get kind of ugly. So we recommend buy your domain name the minute you think of it. If you think it's something you seriously want to pursue, go ahead and buy it. And that way you own it. The worst case is you spend maybe a little less than $20 a year. If you never use it, then you just, let it go, stop paying for it, and let somebody else have it. So this is the section about domain names. Really think about your domain name. Now, another tip about domain names is that you can purchase more than one. If you wanted to have your main website and then other websites related to your business, like landing pages to capture leads from and things like that, then by all means, you can buy more than one domain name and own more than one domain name. So If you're a real estate agent, you might want to buy bobsrealestate.com as your main website. But let's say Bob, wants to focus on selling properties more than just general real estate. So maybe he buys list with Bob, listyourhousewithbob.com. So you can get pretty creative with the type of domain names you buy. I wouldn't recommend buying a ton of them unless you think you need to. But I would say if you're buying them for a business, it can't hurt to have maybe 2 or 3 domain names that you can track and have as your own. Now, keep in mind, domain names are something that you can have for a short period of time. You can buy it for a year, 2 years, and then they usually automatically renew. And you can also buy protection to make sure that people don't steal your domain name or other issues that are out there. We recommend that too. All in all, typically you're going to spend under $20 for a domain name. It's not a tremendous amount of money, and it's well worth it if you think this is something you want to pursue. Thank you so much. This is Ryan from ewebjelly.com. Stay tuned for the next course section.